Hi, welcome to Better Reading. Welcome to What Are You Reading? I have a stack of books here for you today. Hey, tell me what you're reading. What are you reading? I have just picked this up. This is called In the Paris Fashion, and it's by Sophie Beaumont. Now, this is her third book. Sophie, I'm not sure if she's actually French or is a fluent French speaker, but Sophie is also a translator, and she's taken a hand to fiction over the years, not just recently. So this is her third book. The first one was The Paris Cooking School, and the next one was The Secret Garden Paris. So Sophie has written another book, and this time, of course, it's set in Paris, but it's about a dress, a secret dress, and it somehow vanishes, the dress, and somebody uncovers the secret to what happened to that dress. It's really lovely to see Sophie go into different areas of Paris, like food, garden, and now fashion, which is, of course, huge in Paris. And the author is Sophie Beaumont. This is new, and it's called In the Paris Fashion. Okay, so that's the first one I'm going to talk about. Hello everybody, Cheryl Arkle, what are you reading? Tell me what you're reading. This is November. I mean, so many new releases out, so many. So I'm going to talk about Christian White. Did we talk about Christian last week? I'm not sure, but Christian is coming in next week. Is that right? To do What Are You Reading? And he's going to be sitting here with Tim Aleph. Remember Tim Aleph? One of his books was State of Fear. So Christian, I'm not actually going to be here. Well, I will be here, but I won't be on camera next week. And it's going to be Christian White, Tim Aleph, and they're going to ask you, what are you reading? So be ready for it. Okay, welcome everybody. Tell me, what are you reading? We talked about Christian White's new book. We're going to talk about that some more when he comes in next week. Actually, firstly, I want to talk to you about the mushroom tapes. Who is engaged in this story? I did listen to the ABC podcast, but I've also just started to read the book. This is Helen Garner, Chloe Hooper, and Sarah Cranostine. I went to see them at the Sydney Town Hall the other night. I saw a lot of you there. A lot of you came up and said hello to me. The Sydney Town Hall was packed. I know that they've done an event in Melbourne and they're doing events around the country. Conversations on a triple murder trial. So 3 non-fiction authors get together. So Helen Garner, as you know, has written a couple of non-fiction books, including Joe Cinque's Consolation, which is one of my favourite books. Chloe Hooper has written The Tall Man. She's written fiction and non-fiction as well, like Helen Garner. And Sarah Krasnostein, she wrote The Trauma Cleaner, I think it was, which was a big bestseller years ago. But anyway, I went to the event on Wednesday night in Sydney, or Tuesday night. And thank you to all those people that came up and said hi to me. That was lovely. Very intriguing case, and why so many people are engaged. There was a couple of thousand people in that town hall, so a lot of us are interested in the story. Now, we're going to record a podcast with Chloe Hooper. He's going to talk about the mushroom tapes, and that's going to be coming soon. Such an intriguing story. But these 3 women, all non-fiction writers, they weren't all friends. They got to know each other over this time. They just hopped in the car and went down and I think they started a bit late, but they were there. And they followed the trial, and it's their observations, what they thought about the evidence, what they thought about what happened. Did Erin Patterson do it or didn't she? Of course, she was found guilty, and I think she's appealing that at the moment. But super interesting and really, really interesting book. There's a couple of mushroom books out at the moment, but this is a good one as well. Okay, Cheryl Arkle, what are you reading? Tell me what you're reading. Okay, hello to everybody. Let me go through some of these comments. Carolyn says, and hi Carolyn, always lovely to have you here. Carolyn says, hello Cheryl, such a marvellous week of reading with Walk the Blue Fields by the wonderful Claire Keegan. a favourite writer. Sea Scraper by Benjamin Wood, so moving and long listed for the Booker Prize, and Legacy by Chris Hammer, who always guarantees a great read, doesn't he? He's such a good storyteller, Chris is. Thanks for that, Carolyn. And yes, that's a good list. Malvina, noticing a definite up in busyness, so not quite reading as much, but am laughing my way through Christmas Fling by Lindsay Kelk. I mean, talk about busyness. I was just having a look at my diary this morning, and I think I'm booked up now in December. If you want to do something with me, I'm not going to be available now until April. That's just the way it is. And I think that's that for all of us. December just fills up so quickly. So I get it, Malvina. Kaz says, hi, Cheryl. I'm about to start The Missing by Fleur MacDonald, who we love. Raphael. Hi, Raphael. Raphael's back. Hi, Cheryl. Reading the French book at the moment. Illusions by Maxime Chatham. It's a thriller horror in the vein of The Shining by Stephen King. Pretty good so far. Can I just talk about The Shining, Stephen King? That book has scared me so much over the years. I've never been able to get past the first 50 pages. Then I decided, well, I'll watch the movie because maybe I could get through that. And that was worse. I mean, I don't think I could get through 5 minutes. It is one of the scariest stories. Well, I've never gotten through it. I'm just so scared. Anyway, there you go. But, Raphael, I'm glad you're able to read it. Stephen King. Meryl says, hi, I am reading The White Crow by Michael Rowbotham, who is a great friend of Better Reading and who we adore. Christine. Hi, Christine. Christine says hi to the team as well. I have read Christian White's The Long Night, this one. The Farm by Jessica Mansour Nara. I had her for a podcast. Is that out now? Yeah. And that's out now. So go listen to the podcast. Oh, there it is. There's The Farm by Jessica Mansour Nara. Nora, I think that's how you pronounce her name. Jessica is a Lebanese Australian, just like me. We had a fabulous conversation, and I think this was her first book. But anyway, thanks, Christine. What did she say? I also had the absolute pleasure of meeting Brian Brown last week. What an amazing and brilliant storyteller. I mean, I've probably had a crush on Brian Brown all my life. Wonderful storyteller, wonderful Australian actor. Kylie says, hi, Cheryl and the Better Reading team. I'm currently reading Stillwater by Tanya Scott. Emma says, hi to everyone. Kaz says, I've just finished The Long Night by Christian White. Talk about a page turner. Okay, save all your comments for Christian because he's going to be sitting right here next week. He's going to be here with Tim Aleph. And they're going to be sitting here and asking you, what are you reading? And you can ask them questions about reading, writing, about plots, about covers, about titles, whatever you like. Okay, before I go any further, I want to talk about this very, very important book. It's called Don't Ask the Trees for Their Names. I went to the launch of this book, and it is 9 Arab Australian women. Some are Palestinian, some are Lebanese. They're from different areas in the Arab states, in the Levant, and they have written about their immigration, leaving their homeland and coming to Australia. And so they are talking about being immigrants and about, feeling homeless and feeling disorientated and feeling like, what have I done? And then it's how they then make Australia their home, or Sydney their home, or Melbourne their home. It's every one of their stories. It's 9 stories in here, and it's edited by 2 of the storytellers, Ula and Lubna. And I went to the launch at the New South Wales Library, and I was moved to my core about these women and their stories. I had Lubna in for a podcast because I couldn't have all 9 of them. But some of them came in just to do some content and to talk about the book. I urge you to read this book. It is so moving. Every one of these women's stories is so touching. And can I tell you, and maybe somebody out there can say that I'm wrong here or correct me, but I think it's the first time I've seen a collection of short stories, and these are, memoir stories, where the women wrote together. So usually the way a short story compilation happens is there's an editor assigned and they go and ask different authors to write, you know, whether it's to a subject or, you know, write about Christmas or write about whatever. But the difference in this process was that 9 women got together and they decided to write a story each. And so they encouraged each other to tell their stories. And then 2 of them put the book together. Anyway, one of them was a beautiful woman called Nuwa El Khoury Francis, and her story is in here, beautiful story. She was in the office and she sang us a song in Arabic, and I want you to watch this because it's absolutely beautiful. I'm going to put it up now.
يا جبل البعيد خلفك حبايبنا بتموج مثل العيد وهمك متعبنا اشتقنا على المواعيد جينا تشوقنا يا جبل البعيد قول لحبايبنا قول لحبايبنا بعدوا الحبايب بيعادوا بعدوا الحبايب عجبل علي بيعادوا والقلب تايب بعدوا الحبايب بيعادوا بيعادوا وسألت باب الدار وين الناس واهل الدار قال لي الهاجر غدار تركوا البيت طفيوا النار.
Is that not just beautiful? She was in the office and there wasn't a dry eye, I'll tell you that. And she was singing, I think the song is about longing and loving and thinking about your homeland. You know, there's a lot of you out there that have had the same experience, you know. I think about my parents as well. You know, they loved being here, they loved raising their children, but they had a yearning all their life for their homeland. And that's the story of immigration. And why on earth people, you know, disagree with that or don't want to hear or listen to their stories, I'll never know. We are all humans and we've all got something to say. And all we want is to listen to stories, be clothed and be fed. We all have this common goal. Anyway, that's it about this book. Read it and tell me what you think. Okay, I'm getting emotional. Now we're going to move on to something much, much less emotional, but equally beautiful. So you know how we're doing Come to My Kitchen, and I am cooking a recipe with the chef or with the cookbook author in my kitchen. We had, I don't know if you guys know, people in Sydney might know, they have a restaurant called Keppos Street Kitchen, and it's Michael Rantisi and Christy Frawley, they're partners. And they've got this new book out called Salata, and we made the squid and potato salad. Michael and I did in my kitchen. Here's a snippet. I loved it. I love Michael. The experience was fantastic, and the food was excellent. Have a look at this. Hi everyone, Cheryl Arkle, Better Reading. We have got Michael Rantisi. Is that pronounced correctly?
It is absolutely correct.
And we've also got his lovely partner, Christy Frawley. These two are the brains behind Keppos Street Kitchen. Here they are, new cookbook. It's called Salata. We're going to cook from the book, and honestly, every recipe is super simple. But what we're doing is making octopus and potato salad. And come to my kitchen. Did you just love that? That series, that little series, Come to My Kitchen, is doing really well. You can watch it on Facebook, but you can also watch it on YouTube, and you can watch it. How long's the full episode? I think it's not that, about 7 minutes. So go have a look. But this is a really great book. It's, you know, it's salads as meals, and really super simple, full of flavour. Michael is a great, great cook, chef. All right, now a couple of things I have to tell you. Oh, the podcast, which we talked about, was The Farm by Jessica Mansour-Nara. 11th of December is the Christmas party. So it's Thursday, 2 p.m, Christmas party, get yourself a drink. I'm going to get myself a drink. We're going to give out some kind of prize. I don't know what that is yet. We're going to give you something. Come join us, get your friends to join us. That's December the 11th. 2 p.m. Australian Standard Time. Okay, I'm going to go through a few more comments. What do we got? Oh, Sandra says, "Hi Cheryl, I'm still reading Unsettled by Kate Grenville, as well as Unexpected Delivery by Leanne Lovegrove." Marie says, "Hi Cheryl, I'm reading An Ill Wind by Margaret Hickey." Great read. We love Margaret Hickey, and that is truly a great read. Bev says she's reading The Daughters of Mars by Tom Keneally. I love Tom. Tom has been a great friend to Better Reading for some years. Well, actually, ever since we started. I mean, he's just really been a great supporter of us, but he's also a brilliant supporter of Australian writers and writing, and we love Tom. Okay, Kylie says, "Hi, can't wait for the next week's segment with Christian White." It's Christian White and it's Tim Aleph, and they're going to be sitting right here. I'm going to be in the back. I'm going to be the Brains Trust that day. You won't see me here, but you'll have these two wonderful guys. Sandra said, "I'm with you, Cheryl, can't read Stephen King." Yeah, I mean, particularly The Shining. So scary. But, you know, I think there's just a few of us, Sandra, because I think that book has sold millions and millions of copies. Okay, so all the links to the podcast are in comments. Raphael says, "I hate the movie of The Shining. It did not get the book at all. The book made me ugly cry." Is that right? Is that right? At its core and heart, it is a story about being a man and fatherhood. Definitely worth the read. So are you suggesting, Raphael, that I get back to that? Oh, I don't know. I'm going to have some friends around because I don't think I can read it alone. Okay, Kylie says, "I can't read Stephen King books either." Okay, there's a little pattern forming there. Fiona says, "The Retirement Plan, a brilliant black comedy about a group of older women who hire a hitman to kill their husbands for insurance." That sounds very funny and great and a brilliant idea. What do we got? Emma says, the song. Kylie says, very beautifully done. Wasn't she just beautiful singing that song? I mean, it doesn't do justice on the video because, you know, the voice was a little bit out of sync. But when she was in here in the office talking about her story and breaking out in that song, it just moved me to my core. Anyway, if it didn't move you, that's fine. Keep your comments to yourself. But otherwise, we loved it here. Emma says, "The salad looked amazing, especially the potatoes, so crispy." Seriously, go watch it. It is, and you will make that salad. Easy to make and so delicious. Carolyn says, "I love the Come to My Kitchen videos. The dishes all look delicious. Hoping to see a lot more soon." You are definitely going to see a lot more. So we released one last night. And how many have we got in the can? We've got 4 more to come out in the coming months, and also we've got a whole lot of bookings coming up next year. So you're going to see a lot more of those, Carolyn. It's one of our favourite things, and for me, a day spent in my kitchen cooking with an author. I mean, what more could you ask for? Really, that's just the life, right? Okay, Kylie said, "I love a good tasty salad, might have to check it out." Definitely check out the book. It is really worth buying. I reckon it is one of those books where you could cook just about every recipe in here. Oh, see, I saw this the other day, the Turkish spoon salad, and I thought, oh, I think I want that as well. Anyway, I'm going to be cooking in the next couple of months. Fiona said, "I saw Christian White at Manly Library, so entertaining, looking forward to this one." He is so entertaining. You will love him next week. I've recorded a couple of podcasts with him over the years, and he's a great talker, he's very candid, and he's very entertaining. Okay, Joy says, "Reading Trent Dalton's book, Gravity Let Me Go, Raw, and Raw by Joy Marshall." Oh, no, that's what she's reading. Sorry. Alita, "Hi Cheryl, I'm reading Mischance Creek by Gary Disher," another great read. Love Gary, and also I recorded a podcast with him recently. That's it. All the books around me have gone. This is one I highly recommend, as I said, Don't Ask the Trees for Their Names. Really beautiful collection of 9 Arab writers talking about their migration stories, The Mushroom Book, Christian White, and the fabulous Sophie Beaumont. This is definitely something that I think many of you will love, and it's called In the Paris Fashion. All right, that's it from me. You won't see me on screen next week because Christian White and Tim Ayliffe will be here. For the diary, 11th of December, the Christmas party. And that's it from me. Goodbye. Thank you.